Hi, my name is Anthony Gate, and today I'm going to show you how I build this BC to trap my falconry bird on avocation. So to start this build, I went into my local hardware store and got a half-inch square stock, about 5 foot long, and marked the center line. This was going to be where I ground out the center, of course, with my cutoff wheel. Since this piece of stock was 5 feet long, I just went ahead and marked it every foot. This was going to be where I bent the metal. To actually bend the metal, I just went ahead and marked 30 degrees on each side of the lines, which was where I was going to go ahead and cut it off with my cutoff wheel. For this, you don't actually have to go all the way through. Since this was thin enough, you can just cut the 2 sides off, and then it'll be super easy to bend. And as you can see here, it's super easy to bend. You don't need anything, just literally just your arm power and you're good to go. Before welding everything together, I had to go ahead and make sure that everything was about 120 degrees. Because if you mess this part up now, then the whole thing's going to be off. To weld this, I just tacked about two of the 2 sides. I didn't go ahead and conjoin the middles. As you'll see, I'll need this to kind of open up just like here to receive the mesh that I wanted to put in. For the mesh, I had to first stretch it out so it was a flat sheet so I could, of course, draw out what I need to cut off. Working with this mesh is a complete hassle. I hate it so much, but it does do good work. This is just regular half-inch square chicken wire? No, it's not chicken wire. I'm not sure what this is called, but you can find it next to the chicken wire. I know that. After it was all cut out, I could stretch out the form that I just tacked, and I could go ahead and receive it. This doesn't look like it took that long, but this whole part took me about 45 minutes since all the little wires that come out that were cut, it kind of bent every which way, and they would just keep wanting to come out, so I had to use zip ties to just kind of force everything in there, but at the end, everything turned out well. Now that everything was in there, I could go ahead and weld, do the final welds, on both sides, and then grind it down to make it look just a little nicer. And what I didn't show here, but I was worried that this was going to pop out. So I did try welding it, but the welder was just too strong. It would just melt the wires. So I just went ahead and used Gorilla Glue just in the middle of the cracks just to kind of hold everything together. That works perfectly. And here you can kind of see me using 2 dog bowls to do the dome. Couldn't really find anything better. This actually worked perfectly in my opinion. This is the second time that I do this method. It takes forever as well, and it dents up your dog bowls, but I mean, it's super cheap and it works well. And since I couldn't weld this, I actually got this steel epoxy kind of thing. It's just like regular epoxy. You just mix it until it's an even color, and then you just go ahead and you put it on steel, and it's like 45,000 pounds. I don't know, 4,500. That makes more sense. Yeah, it might be that, but it needed about 2 tubes to go ahead and the whole thing. I didn't want it to be super nice, but just to hold. And then this part here is actually just cutting out a slot because this is where the bait goes. Because for a PZ, you need the hawk to go ahead and have something it wants to go and kill. And then to attach the door, I just use these clips. I'm not sure what these are called. I'm not sure where I got them, but I don't know. They work well. I mean, I'm sure you can find them at the hardware store. That's where I found them. I don't remember each section. And for the actual trapping mechanism, it's just simple overhand nuts tied to the corners. Just tie 2 in the middle to hold it down, and then tie it at the ends to form loops. That way, when the bird pulls on it, they can't really go anywhere. They just get stuck. And I honestly don't remember what this knot is called. I'm not big into knots, but this is one of the most simple ones. You just tie 2 overhangs to each other, and yeah, and you're pretty much done. And after 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how quick you are, you'll have a forest of these knots. And this is just whenever the bird walks on it or tries to get the mice, they'll go ahead and get stuck. And if you want to know how this trap worked out, go ahead and subscribe and be on the lookout for the next video on how this trap worked.